I woke up to hear knocking on glass. At first, I thought it was the window, until I heard it come from the mirror again. The last thing I saw was my alarm clock flashing 12:07 before she pushed her long, rotting nails through my chest. Her other hand muffled my screams. I sat, bolt upright, relieved it was only a dream. I saw my alarm clock, and it read 12:06. I heard my closet door creak open. Growing up with cats and dogs, I got used to the sounds of scratching at my door while I slept. Now that I live alone, it is much more unsettling. In all the time that I've lived alone in this house, I swear to God I've closed more doors than I've opened. A girl heard her mom yell from downstairs, so she got up and started to head down. As she got to the stairs, her mom pulled her into her room and said, "I heard that too." She asked why I was breathing so heavily. I wasn't. My wife woke me up last night to tell me there was an intruder in our house. She was murdered by an intruder 2 years ago. I awoke to the sound of the baby monitor crackling with a voice comforting my firstborn child. As I adjusted to a new position, my arm brushed against my wife, sleeping next to me. I always thought my cat had a staring problem. She always seemed fixated by my face. Until one day, when I realized that she was always looking behind me. There's nothing like the laughter of a baby, unless it's 1 a.m. and you're home alone. I was having a pleasant dream when what sounded like hammering woke me. After that, I could barely hear the muffled sound of dirt covering the coffin over my own screams. "I can't sleep," she whispered, crawling into bed with me. I woke up cold, clutching the dress she was buried in. I begin tucking him into bed, and he tells me, "Daddy, check for monsters under my bed." I look underneath for his amusement, and see him, another him under the bed, staring back at me, quivering, and whispering, "Daddy, there's somebody on my bed." You get home, tired after a long day's work, and ready for a relaxing night alone. You reach for the light switch, but another hand is already there. I can't move, breathe, speak, or hear, and it's so dark all the time. If I knew it would be this lonely, I would have been cremated instead. She went upstairs to check on her sleeping toddler. The window is open, and the bed is empty. I never go to sleep, but I keep waking up. My daughter won't stop crying and screaming in the middle of the night. I visit her grave and ask her to stop, but it doesn't. After working a hard day, I came home to see my girlfriend cradling her child. I didn't know what was more frightening, seeing my dead girlfriend and stillborn child, or knowing that someone broke into my apartment to place them there. There was a picture in my phone of me sleeping. I live alone. Don't be scared of the monsters. Just look for them. Look to your left, to your right, under your bed, behind your dresser, in your closet. But never look up. She hates being seen. The operation wasn't successful in the traditional sense, since my sight didn't return. but it left me with the ability to distinguish heat signatures at least. 3 weeks have passed, and I'm still not sure how to politely ask my best friend why he's room temperature. They delivered the mannequins in bubble wrap. From the main room, I begin to hear popping. It sat on my shelf, with thoughtless porcelain eyes and the prettiest pink doll dress I could find. Why did she have to be stillborn? I'm working a night shift alone tonight. There's a face in the cellar, staring back at the security camera. He came to my door near sunset and put his cold hand in mine, whispering he had seen it as he fell to the ground dead. We still don't know how he got out of the morgue. Put back the mirrors. We miss watching you. Attending his funeral today was really scary. It might have been the constant muffled screams I heard, or the worry of someone noticing the dirt on my hands. Being buried alive was bad enough. Realizing I wasn't alone in my own grave was worse. When next you are completely alone, imagine you are listening to a sound of some kind. When that sound seems to stop, you'll know that you've been noticed. I ignore the sound of my roommate tapping on the door, asking me to let him in. I ignore it as I watch him sleep on the other side of the room. I slid into my bed for the night and paused. Bear in mind, I live alone, and it was occupied. I can feel and hear the presence of others. Though I am alone, minding my own business, they seem to dislike me or are hostile. The living are so annoying.